I just shortened it to problem solving. If you'd please take a look in your book at page 27, I'd like to avoid writing this chart down because this is nothing that you don't already know. On page 27, and I'm just going to show it here, I don't think we need to write this into our notes, but I do want you to think about this, to take a look at this, and to think about doing this for each problem. First of all, reading the problem carefully. You guys know to do that. If you don't understand the problem, read it a second time. Then you're going to decide what unknown numbers are asked for. So you figure out at the end, what are they asking for? What are the things I don't know? And what facts are known? Now here it says making a sketch may help. You don't have to make a sketch. I'll do a problem here in a minute as an example where a sketch might be useful. It's up to you to decide where that will be helpful for you. Step 2, choose a variable. So pick a letter. Generally, I don't care what letter you choose, but use it to represent the unknowns that are described. So if the question was, how much money does Jim have? That's your variable. How much money does Jim have? A lot. I hope that's true, but of course in math that wouldn't be a good answer. Don't tell me the answer is a lot. Step 3, reread the problem, take another quick look at it, and write an equation. Here's where we're taking from yesterday's lesson. So you read the problem, you try to understand it, you get your variable to deal with the unknown amount, and then you figure out what equation could represent the relationship among the numbers that are in the problem, right? Am I adding it together? Does it say 3 times as much? Okay, now here's the thing we're adding on to yesterday's lesson. Now you are solving the equation and finding whatever that unknown variable is that's being asked for. Now yesterday's example, I did a problem with CJ's money and Jim's money. The question at the end might say, how much do each of them have? So then you would have to, where it says unknowns, plural, you might need to give me 2 answers. Just read the question carefully. It'll tell you what you need to answer. And then check your results. Give the answer. For me, that'd be box the answer. Here's what I want you to do for checking the results. Let me give you an example real quick, just out loud. Back to CJ and Jim's money. If I say CJ has twice as much money as Jim, together they have $36. And you mess up maybe on solving it. And you tell me Jim has $40. Does that make sense in the problem? No, because I said together they have 36. So how could Jim have 40 if as a total together they only have 36? That doesn't make sense. So when it says check your results with the words, make sure it's a reasonable answer. Make sure it actually makes sense. Okay, so I don't think you need to copy that down, but in your homework it may say solve using the 5-step plan. This is the 5-step plan that will chart, and it's just how you should think through it. And again, I'm hoping this is what you guys are already doing. Let's do a sample problem. Alyssa has $23 more than Kate. You'll see this one is similar to what we did yesterday, right? Together, they have $187. Then, how much money do they each have? Scoot that up. There we go. Do they each have? And that's a question mark at the very end, which is off the page. So I'll leave you to add your punctuation. Now, let me just say in the book, it shows a different way to do this. It shows making a chart, and they are giving you possible answer choices. They're giving you 3 possible answer choices. We're going to solve it differently because you guys are too smart already. First, we're going to figure out, okay, we read the equation, we understand it, or we read the problem. And so our variable, let's figure out what we want our variable to be. I like to have it be for the smaller amount, but you could do it for the bigger amount, which would be Alyssa's. I, again, like to do the smaller amount, and since Kate has less money, I'm gonna use K to stand for Kate's money. Okay? There we go. That's why it looks so big. Okay, so you don't have to write this down separately, but it might help you to think about what we're doing. Together they have $187. Okay, this one's like one we did yesterday. We have the two people's amounts added together to equal the total that they have combined. If I say Kate's money is K, there's Kate represented, how will I represent Alyssa's money in the equation? Brian? K plus 23. Remember, I can't use an A, I can't have a second variable. Now, here's where I want you to think about your math skills. Combining like terms. First of all, can I add K plus 23 together if I don't know what K is? Good, I see thumbs down. No, we can't add these, they're not alike. I don't know what K is. Can I add K plus K? Good, now be careful, what do you get? How many K's do we have, Vincent? Good, 1K plus 1K makes 2K. Remember, it's not K squared. It's not K squared, so just because we're adding how many? I have 1 plus 1. Now, I still have my plus 23 that I can't combine. I want you guys to try this method of solving, because I think you guys can all do this. We've worked on these kinds of equations a lot. Now, think about what I always say when we have two operations. I've got multiplication here now by combining them, and I've got addition. What am I going to do first? I want to eventually get K by itself. Where do I start? Diego, where do I start?
Subtract 23 from 187.
Good. Remember, the way I like to describe it is leave the variable alone when you start and undo the other stuff first. We undo by doing the opposite. So the opposite of plus 23, minus 23, and we have to do that on both sides of the equal sign. Otherwise it becomes unbalanced. 23 minus 23, technically that's 0, but we can consider it just canceled out. That leaves 2K equals 164. To undo 2 times K, I do the opposite. The opposite of times 2 is to divide by 2 on both sides of the equal sign. I've now isolated the K all by itself. I get 82. Now let's see if this makes sense. If Kate has $82, now let's put Alyssa back in there. Alyssa has that amount plus 23, right? According to the problem up here, she has 23 more. So we take Kate's money that we found plus 23, and I get 105. How can I check to see if I got the right answer? Vincent?
105 plus 82.
Yeah, up here it says together they have $187, so let's check. This one, 105, that is 23 more than 82, I just did that. 82 plus 105, together that's 187. It works. So there's Kate's money, and there's Alyssa's money. So you guys need to borrow money, go to Alyssa. She's rich. That's it. Some of the problems will be similar to yesterday's. Some will be a little different, but I think you can do them anyway. They're similar enough to yesterday. So today we're doing the same thing, taking the second step of solving.